Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a different kind of tutorial. I've had a lot of people ask me what I do at work. They know that I work for a jewelry company, but they don't really know what I do, and I've had a lot of interest in that. So I am going to show you guys today exactly what I do at work and the kind of earrings that I make. Okay? So these are not hard to do, but I will tell you, when I first started this job, I had never done this before. I'd worked with jewelry, beaded jewelry, and crystals, as in like bicone crystals, but this is a completely different kind of jewelry. This is using Swarovski crystals, chatons, and flatbacks, and we glue them on components to make pretty earrings and other things too, but mainly earrings. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And if you want to do it with me, you can. And so we're going to get a supply list together. So the first thing you're going to need some size 12. These are 12 SS crystals. Now I'm using AB. These are Swarovski brand. You don't have to use Swarovski. You can use Precocia. You can use you can even use like the ones, there are some at Hobby Lobby. They're over in the fabric department and they look really pretty. So yeah, you can use those. But I'm using size 12 SS Swarovski AB flatbacks. And then these are size 19 SS Swarovski pointed back chatons, and they are in what color is this? Pacific Opal. I'm sorry, I could not think. I was trying to say Palace Green Opal, and I knew it wasn't that. It's Pacific Opal. And I absolutely love Pacific Opal. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so you're going to need a couple jump rings. You're going to need some, if you use the same components as me, you're going to need some teeny tiny. Now, these are 2mm chatons. They are so tiny. These are not Swarovski. But I don't have any this small in Swarovski, so we're going to use those. And then I'm using these ear hook components that I got from Budget Bead Box. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue the crystals in. It has a loop on it, so we're going to be able to dangle the bottom of our earring from it. And I have glued post ear hooks, ear wires, whatever you want to call them, on the back of these. So if you want to go ahead and do that, I use the 6000 for all of this. If you want to go ahead and do that ahead of time so they dry, yeah, you can just glue some post ear hooks on there. Okay. And then you're going to need some E6000, and you're going to need a couple of toothpicks. And I like to use a little baggie to lay my E6000 on because it tends to flow out whether you want it to or not. Now let me tell you a secret about the toothpicks, okay? One, you're just going to need a plain toothpick to put your glue on. This one has beeswax on the end, and beeswax is great for picking up the crystals. If you see that, you pick it right up, set it in the glue, it comes right off. It's awesome. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. It is over where the leather, like if you're doing leather crafting or whatever, it's over where the leather is, and it comes in a block, and it's orange. And it comes in a block that will last you the rest of your life, and it's literally not very much money. It's like $3 or something, but the block is huge, and if this is what you're using it for, this little bit on there, I mean, it'll last forever. Okay. And then I'm using, this is actually sparkly cardstock, and it's thick. You want a thick cardstock. See, it doesn't just bend when you touch it. But you want something pretty on the back, and you can cut it out by hand, or if you have a Cricut, you can cut it out with a Cricut. However you want to do it, and I've just cut 2 of them out by hand, actually. And then this little component right here is a ribbon end. And I'll show you one that's not flattened out. And I've just flattened it out and cut the sides off and glued that on to make a loop. We have these at work that are like already, they're meant to be glued on like that as a loop, but I meant to buy a couple and forgot to Friday. So this is what I did. I took the little ribbon end, that's what this is, the kind where you fold over, you know, and I just flattened it out with my pliers, and then I just cut these sides off so it was just a thinner, and I just glued it on here with these 6000, and that gives you the little loop to hook to your top piece. You've got to have that. And then I've just painted the whole thing with some matching nail polish. Just any old kind of nail polish, but it just matches this. Just so that if I have a little space in there or something, it's not going to show through and be real obvious like stark white. Okay, so that's what you're going to need to do this. And we'll go ahead and get started. So you want to take your E6000 lid off. Well, this stuff flows out. It just does. It's like no matter what you do, it flows out. And you're going to take your glue toothpick and you're going to get some glue on your toothpick. Let's move that one out of the way. Okay, so what I do is I start up here at the top and I just put a thin, you don't want a very thick line, you want a thin line of glue right around. Okay, then I'm going to take my one with the beeswax, and I'm going to pick my crystals up. And I'm going to start at the very top in the very center, just like that. Now you want it to stick over the edge of the cardboard a little bit, but not cover up your loop, because you're going to need your loop. Okay, and you're going to do this all the way down the side where you've laid your glue. And you want these to stick over the side. You want to make them very even. You don't want them uneven. You want them all to stick over the side just a little bit to cover the cardboard, but you want them to stick over the side in the exact same distance. So like when I flip this over, see, they're all sticking out about the same. And if you have a couple that aren't, you can take your finger and just slide them out, make them all even, just like that. You want them to be very even, sticking out on the side, just like that. That middle one's in a little, he needs to come out a little more. Okay, and you just keep doing that. You're going to lay it all around with your glue, just like this. Make sure they're pressed down. Okay, see that? And if you look at the back, they're all pretty even. My bottom one, this one could come out just a tad more. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then when you're running out of glue, you just grab your glue toothpick and you lay a little bit more. And I chose a really small earring to do today so that it wouldn't take like hours to show you how to do this. But when I first started this job, I got on YouTube because I was really struggling. I mean, I could not figure out how to do this process, and nobody was very helpful with me, and I was bugging people when I was asking them questions because they were busy and didn't want to have to fool with me. And so I got on YouTube to try to find out how to do this, and I couldn't find anything. I could find stuff about gluing crystals on shoes. I could find stuff about gluing crystals on dance costumes or, hair pieces and all kinds of stuff, but I could not find anything about gluing crystals on jewelry. And so, I don't know, I thought I really need to do my own tutorial for this because nobody else is doing it. So there you go. You just make sure that they're all pretty even, just like this. Make sure they're pressed down. Okay. And then we're just going to go right up the other side. And it is good to have a napkin too. I didn't mention that, but if your glue starts to dry in the end of your tube, you can just take your toothpick and get it out and put it on a napkin because you can't work with dry glue, obviously. Okay. And you just put these on just like this, the same way, all the way up the other side. And this is just making a really pretty little border. Now, I bought these crystals yesterday from work. I wish that we had some Palace, I keep wanting to say Palace Green Opal, Pacific Opal in these little flats, because I would have lined it with AB and Pacific Opal, but we didn't have any in the size 12s. I don't even know if they make Pacific Opal in a 12, but at any rate, we didn't have any, so I just got AB, and it'll still look really pretty. And we're going to go up the last little bit here. You don't need much glue, and you don't want to get the glue on the front of your crystals. If you get the glue on the front of your crystals, it dulls them and doesn't make them shiny. So you just have to be careful about that. And it doesn't take much glue, believe me. I used a ton of glue when I first started doing this, and I was making earrings that I had to try to clean the glue off of them, and it's a whole lot easier just to use less glue than it is to try to go back and clean it all off at the end. Okay, so let's flip it over and look at the back, and these need to come out just a tad. Okay. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so there's what we have. Looks like these need to come out a little bit more. While the glue's still tacky, you can move these around a little bit. Just make sure that they're all pretty even. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so once you've got your edging you've got it all edged out really nice. Grab a paper towel. Just, if your glue feels like it's drying on the end of your tube, just take your toothpick like this and just clean it off. Because you really you don't want dry glue for this. Okay. Get a little glue on your toothpick. And we're going to do another row. Okay, so if you notice, you've got flat backs and you've got pointed backs. So when you lay your flat backs down, you're creating a little crevice to put your pointed backs in. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to put this one at the top, in the middle, and see, that's going to create a little place right there that I can put my pointed back in. He'll go right in there. Just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do another flat back here. And you just want to go straight down the row. Make sure they're all in a straight line, and make sure that they're all flat on your cardboard. Now, one thing I forgot to get out is I did want to use, let me find them, I wanted to use some AB pointed ones as well, than AB 19s, as well as these Pacific Opal. I wanted to mix the 19s on the top too, and I forgot to get out my 19s, so let me grab a few of these out here real quick. I'm just going to kind of mix them because there's a few. Okay. All right, so we're going to finish lining this. So you just follow along what you've done already. The lines that you've done already, you're just following along. Try to keep them evenly, they're touching each other all along here, but try to keep them even, as in like the distance from one to the next one. Okay, and the bottom one you try to put right in the middle and create another little spot that you can lay your 19 in. Okay, so this is what I've got right now. So I'm going to take my toothpick here, get some glue on it. Now you want to be kind of careful here, because you don't want to get glue all over your edging crystals to where it covers them. But you have to get enough glue in here to lay your 19s in. So just put a little trail of glue all the way down in there. And then we're going to start laying the 19s in. And you just set it right in there, and you can flip your toothpick and use the opposite end without the little sticky thing on to set it. And you want to make sure it's setting straight and flat, not tipped or tilted, or it's going to create spaces in there that you don't want. I'm going to put an AB one in there. Okay, go here with this Pacific Opal. I think the Pacific Opal is one of my favorite colors in Swarovski. I like it, and I like Indicolite. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color. And blue zircon. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now when I get to the bottom, I want to make sure that these are all sitting pretty much side by side, so you can scoot them around if you need to a little bit. That one doesn't seem to be having enough glue to hold it in. Let me put a little bit more glue in there. Okay. Just dab a little down in there. Whoops, I got the crystal on it. See, my glue's dry and it's not, it's kind of drying up. I need to get some fresh glue out here. Okay. There we go. He's got a little 12 stuck to him. Get off there. Okay, and just set it down in there. There we go. Scoot this one over. Okay, so you want to make sure they're all even and they're all sitting flat. Nobody's tipped or tilted in any way, and they're all touching side by side. Okay, so there's what we've got. I'm going to take some more glue and make the line here that I can put my 12s in, my flats. Okay, and we're just going to do the same thing over here. Just lay a line of them. You want them to be straight and even. And these 12s that we're putting in right now, they're not really going to show. They're just a foundation to set the 19s in. That's all they are. Okay, and then I'm going to get a little glue. And if you notice I twist my toothpick, it helps you control the glue a little bit when you twist it like that. Okay, and I'm just going to lay them in here. Okay. And then I'm going to put my 19s in. I'm going to do an AB one up here. This one. And I'll do another AB. Now normally when I'm doing this, I would be doing both earrings at the same time. So I would do like one row on here and then do it on the other earring. But I just, for time's sake, I don't want to make you all sit and watch me, you know, do both earrings. I'll go back later and do it. But one thing that my boss is really big on at work is that we mirror them. So I would lay this one beside it, and I would make sure this row on this one matches this row on this one, and then this row matches this row, so they look mirrored when they're side by side. But I'll do that. I mean, I'll do that, but I'll do it later. I'm not going to make you watch me do both pairs or both pieces right now. Okay, so here's what we have. We have our full outer row. Okay, so we're going to take our glue and we're going to do the inside. I just put some down. It doesn't take a whole lot to get these little 12s to stay in there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I start right there, and I'll be able to put a crystal right in there. And then I'm going to go, and we're just getting smaller and smaller little rows as we go. Just like this. Okay. And just scoot them around to where they're even. Okay, and then we're going to take, whoops, so sorry, make you guys seasick. We're going to take our glue. Got hair or fuzz or something in my glue right there. Ugh. Okay. Okay. And I gotta get that out. What is that? There we go. It's kitty hair. Okay, so then we're gonna just, same thing in here. You just want to lay down a little line in between your 12s so that you can place your 19s in there. And he goes right there in the top. Make sure he's nice and flat. Okay. And you want to make sure that they're sitting flat and not tilted or tipped over. Okay, you just put them in. I haven't put any glue over there yet, have I? Same thing on the other side. Okay. You just set them all in there just like that. Make sure they're even. Okay, I'm going to put this one in the center on the bottom. Now, as you can see, there are some spaces in here, and we're going to fill that in just a minute. Okay, so just don't freak out about it. And then I'm going to stick one green opal right in the middle right there. Okay, now, if you look at your earring here, it's very, very sparkly and pretty, but there are a lot of spaces in there, and we're going to fill those spaces in. So you want to take your glue, and you kind of want to do this one at a time. So here's a hole I'm going to fill in. Just dab a little glue right there. Take a crystal and just set him right in there. Okay, I'm going to do that with all these little spaces. I'm just going to fill them in with crystal. Okay, that one needs one. And again, if you twist your toothpick, it kind of helps you control the glue and keep it from getting everywhere. I'll put an AB one there. Okay, and see, we're just filling in these little spaces. So these are basically stacked. Your crystals are stacked, and the bottom ones build a base for the top ones. And your point is, in the whole earring, is not to have any spaces. You want to fill in every little crevice so it's covered with a crystal. Let me get some more of my 19s and AB. They're mixed in with other ones. Okay, so if you can see, all these are sitting nice and flat. I'm going to fill in this hole right here. And then I'm going to fill in this bottom one. I didn't put one on the bottom there. I left that open just to make sure that everything turned out even, and it did. So I'm going to put one in there, make the point, and then I'm going to use an AB one, and I'm going to fill in this hole right there. Okay? So this is what we've got going on. Turn it so you can control it a little bit better. I'm going to put the green right there, Pacific Opal. And you can do a little line of glue if you know you're going to put it, 3 or 4 in a row. Just be careful because you don't want your glue to cloud your other crystals. I need another AB here. Okay. Let's go right here with a green. Okay, so this is what we've got. Now, as you see, we filled in all these spaces all the way up the sides, and there's no more spaces on the sides. Now we just need to fill in the middle a little bit more, and we'll be done. So I'm going to fill in these bottom spaces here. You just want to look anywhere that you can see a space that needs a crystal in it. You just want to try to fill them in and make it look nice and solid on the bottom. Okay, I don't have any glue right there, I don't think. There we go. Let's put one right here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Let's see if I can find a couple more 19s in AB. I've got some spaces here that I'm just going to fill in. Let me get some wet glue though. Okay, so let's fill in. Oh, I didn't get that one glued down, did I? Okay, yeah, let's put an AB crystal right there. Fill in that spot. Let's fill in right here with a green. It's looking pretty good. Let's fill in right here with green. Fill in right here and here. Okay, now see, we've just got a couple spaces in the middle, so we're going to fill them in real quick too. Green right here. Make sure that one's sitting flat. And in the middle. Okay, and it's looking pretty good. See that? And if you see any more spots that need filled in, just go ahead and stick a crystal in there. Make sure that everything looks good. You want it to be even too. If you put one over here, you want to put one on the other side too. So like there, and then I'll put one over here. Okay. And I think I'm going to put an AB one right here. Fill in that spot. Okay. Just like that. And one more, maybe right here. A green one. Okay, and the only other spot I see that might need one is right here. Put green in there. Alright, how's that look, guys? I think it's looking pretty good. Very pretty. Look at that. And if you have any spaces left, you can take your little flats. Like there's a spot right there that needs something. So I'm going to take my little 12 that's a flat one, and I'm going to stick it right on there. And that will cover up that spot pretty good, and it won't create another space that needs filled in. And same with right here. So once you get to where most everything is filled in, if you have any little spots that are left, just use your little 12s and put on there. Okay, look at it. It looks beautiful. It's very shiny. Okay, now let's set this aside for a minute, and we're going to do the top. So here we have our top, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your toothpick. Where's my toothpick? Okay, and I'm going to do the middle first. Now I'm going to fill these little, you just want to put a little dab of glue in each little hole here. And you kind of need fresh glue for this, so make sure that your glue's just dab a little in each thing, anywhere there's a hole. And then we're going to take our teeny tiny ones here, and we're going to fill this in. So there's 1, 2, it's telling me my video size limit's almost reached, so I gotta watch that it doesn't quit recording. 3, 4, and 5, right in there like that. And I think I'm gonna try to stick a green one in the middle. We'll see how it looks, because it's kind of big, and I don't know that, but we'll try it. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, just make sure they're all flat, sitting flat. That one looks like it's tipped a little. Very pretty. And then we're going to take our glue and we're going to put some glue in all the edge holes all the way around. Just takes a little dab, and try not to get it on your crystals that are already on there. Oh, sorry guys, I keep hitting that camera. It's hard to do this and film at the same time. So just make sure you have some glue in each one. And we're going to I'm going to put the green all the way around, the Pacific Opal all the way around. And just make sure they're sitting flat. Okay, and there's what we've got. And you can take your finger and kind of, okay, just take your finger and make sure they're all sitting flat like this. And that's what we've got. So here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to take our bottom piece and our top piece, and we're going to take a jump ring. I'm not going to do it right now because it's wet, but we're going to take a jump ring and hook them together right there. And you have a beautiful, absolutely beautiful earring. Sparkly and just gorgeous. Okay, so that is what I do at work. I glue crystals on components all day long to make jewelry, and it's a lot of fun, but it was a challenge in the beginning to learn. So that's how you do it. And yeah, so when we get this put together, I'll take a picture of it and put it in the thumbnail for the video, but I don't want to try to put the jump ring on right now while it's wet. You want to let it dry for about 20 minutes or so, and then you can go back and try to put your jump ring on. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this gives you a little insight into something different that I do. This is a totally different kind of jewelry making, but this is what I do at work. I do mainly beading here at home, but I wanted to make a pair of this color earring for myself, so I thought I would show y'all how to do it while I was doing it. So that's it. It's a very fancy Swarovski crystal piece of jewelry. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe to my channel. I'll put all my information in the description box below, but I do have my Etsy store up and running, and I don't have anything like this for sale on my store, but if you're interested in ordering earrings like these, or, you know, buying the Swarovski crystal earrings, you can get on our website, my work website. It's www.mhrdesigns.com, and I'll put the link to that in the description box below as well, and you can order yourself some Swarovski crystal jewelry. So it's beautiful. But you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.